I'm Matilda.
And hi, I'm Lily, and today we're going to be interviewing
Dione, yeah.
What subjects did you choose to study at A-level and why?
Okay, so I chose to study biology, chemistry and Spanish, which isn't like the typical subjects, I would say, that people choose to study for medicine. I think there's a sort of misconception that people have to study biology, chemistry and maths a lot of the time, but because Spanish and languages is something that I've always been really interested in and I've really enjoyed, I decided to take Spanish at A-level. I actually did my maths A-level for the first year, so I did an AS in maths, but then I decided to drop down to AS and do that exam so that then in my second year of A-levels I could focus on biology, chemistry and Spanish.
what are your plans for next year?
Okay, so obviously next year I plan to go and study medicine at university. It's quite hard being a medic applicant just because there's not a lot of certainty as to whether you're going to get a place because it's so competitive. So you can apply to 4 courses for medicine, and then your 5th option has to be something else. So for example, some people choose biomedicine or biomedical sciences, biochemistry, something like that. But I decided that I knew that if I didn't do medicine, I was just going to take a gap year and try again. So I did 4 choices. I did Manchester, King's College, UEA and Hull York, and I haven't heard back from King's yet. I've got 3 interviews that I've done, and I actually heard last night that UEA have offered me a place to study, which is really exciting. So I plan next year to go to study medicine at uni, but I don't know necessarily where I'm going to go, or not yet anyway.
How is applying for medicine different to others in your class?
Okay, so if you want to apply to medicine, you obviously have the early deadline, which means that you need to get your UCAS application and your personal statement in earlier than all of the other girls who are applying for some other different courses. So when I came back to school in September in year 13, it was sort of quite quick. You needed to get your personal statement done, your UCAS done, and send that off. I think the deadline is October 16th or something, 15th, October 15th. You get all of that sent off, and then obviously another thing that's different with medicine is you actually have to take an interview. So before they offer you a place, they say, no, we want to interview you, and if you get an offer for interview, you obviously do that, and then after that they offer you a place or reject you if they want you. I'd say another thing that's different is you have to take an exam before you apply for medicine. So in the summer of year 12 I took my UCAT exam. So you either have to take the UCAT or the BMAT. It's quite complicated, but there's a lot of different steps to doing a medicine application. I think that was something that I found quite hard because all of my friends around me were doing a sort of simpler route to uni, but I had a lot of things that I needed to think about and a lot of hurdles that I needed to jump over before I even knew that I was going to uni. But I would say that although that's something that can be quite stressful, it's definitely something which when you get your offer at the end, it's really worth it because you're like, I've worked really hard over the past year and that's like paying off now, so that's something nice at the end.
How has life in the 6th form prepared you for your next steps?
Okay, so obviously everybody worries about the jump between 6th form and uni because you're more on your own, sometimes in a completely different city to where you grew up in, you're not around all of your friends. And I think that in 6th form, compared to like high school, you're doing a lot more independent study. For example, you can do an EPQ, which I did on dementia, and it's an independent research project which you do by yourself, and it's very sort of tailored to you, so you get a lot of choices on what you want to do. I think that that's something which prepared me for uni, or is preparing me for uni, because I've been able to sort of have a lot of self-discipline with it. But also just generally being a little bit more free in 6th form, so you have free periods where you have to take charge of your own study, and just generally the increase of independence that you get, I think, preps you for uni quite a lot.
What advice would you give to anyone thinking about studying medicine?
So I would say that the main thing if you want to study medicine is just that you're really committed to your choice, because like I've said, it is quite a hard sort of journey to getting your offer and getting your place at uni. But if it's something that you really truly want, then you'll sort of maintain your energy into your application through the whole process, which is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. But if you're really passionate about it, then that's the most important thing, I think.
And how has leaving school made you feel?
Yeah, so I guess that it's quite scary thinking you're going to leave school, because I've been here since year 3, and a lot of my teachers have seen me grow up, and I know I have a lot of support through them, as well as like all my friends at school. But I think that the thought of going to uni, although it's quite daunting sometimes, you just think, you know, that's like the next step, and I'm like doing what I want to do, and I know that that really excites me as well. So that takes away from it a bit, and it's just sort of getting support from your teachers now, so that when you do leave and when you do go off to uni, you feel prepared and you feel ready. I think that's...
Hi.